in that gap. Once it's done, we may be seated. Jazakumullah khairan for your cooperation.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. حي على الصلاة، حي على حي على الفلاح، حي على الله أكبر، الله أكبر. لا إله إلا الله.
الحمد لله الذي هدانا إلى دين الإسلام وما كنا لنهتدي لولا أن هدانا الله وأكمل لنا ديننا وأتم علينا نعمه فرضي لنا الإسلام دينا فلا نعبد إلا إياه ولا نستعين إلا به. نشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له ونشهد أن سيدنا ونبينا مولانا محمدا عبد الله ورسوله بلغ الرسالة وأدى الأمانة ونصح الأمة فجزاه الله عنا وعن كل المسلمين خيرا. اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على سيدنا محمد عبدك ورسولك النبي الأمي وعلى آله وصحبه وبارك وسلم تسليما كثيرا كثيرا. أما بعد، رب يسر ولا تعسر وتمم بالخير وبك نستعين يا فتاح. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. رب زدني علما والحقني بالصالحين. سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم. سبحانك لا فهم لنا إلا ما فهمتنا إنك أنت الجواد الكريم. My dear respected elders, brothers and sisters in Islam, it is part of human nature to seek answers for questions, to demand reasons for certain actions, to explore solutions for predicaments and problems. It is human nature. In the absence of the method of faith, we expect these all to be provided to us from someone else aside from ourselves. You need to give me an answer why that happened. They need to account for why they're doing that. I want the world to tell me. I don't want to make an effort to find that solution. This is the process outside of the process of faith. While through the teachings of faith, we are taught to backtrack and realize where it all went wrong. By doing so, we will be able to identify where the problem is and what the answer is. It's like massaging the roll of tape. You got a roll of tape and the tape has gone back down. You don't know where it is. So you massage the roll of tape to find out where that cut is. Or it's like massaging the waistband of your track pants or shorts to find out how far the string has gone back in. You do it because you need it. People might call you crazy for doing it. What are you doing there with your shorts? I'm looking for the string. It went inside. They may laugh at you. They may ridicule you. They may tell you, go buy a new pair of shorts. Why are you wasting your time? If that tape, if you can't find that tape, throw it in the garbage and open another pack of tape. Why are you wasting your time? But that's good for them. They can think what they want to think. You realize how important that tape is to you, how important those track pants or shorts are to you, so you're going to do your due diligence to find the string and bring it back forward to find where the crease of the tape is and to pull it out once more. It is through faith when we work for something, we prove we are invested in it. And because of it, we're not only determined to get to the bottom of something, but we are determined and resilient to fix it also. But in the absence of this process, known as the process of faith, we will applaud the clarification when provided, the evidence when submitted, the blame when it's pinned. But I beg of you all today to ask yourself, how does that change anything? If we prove someone did something, or someone has been proven guilty for something, or someone acknowledges that they are wrong or they're the perpetrators of wrong, how does that change anything for us? Ask yourself this question. Allah has given us senses. It's time that we take back our senses and we use our intellect to ask ourselves the questions we fail to ask anymore. For it's easy for me or for you to stand here or anywhere else and say who is wrong, what is wrong, why it's wrong, and call to condemn, to protest, to boycott, or to put an end to certain things or certain ways. It's easy to do that. It's actually trending in our world right now. It's easy. But it is practically impossible in today's day and age to say it is I that am to blame, for my actions have caused this, for I have deviated from what he wanted, so I need to hold myself to account and seize my lax attitude. You won't hear anyone say that anymore. Illa masha'Allah. Now, as a child, I was once told by an elder in our community to observe the ringmaster and the elephant, or a camel and its shepherd. Both are beasts, and what they're up against or who they are under are humans. There is no match. It's like a heavyweight boxer going into the ring with a featherweight boxer. There's no match. But regardless, the submissive nature of the beast was something that this elder told me to reflect upon. Do you see the ringmaster? Do you see the elephant? Do you see the camel? And do you see the shepherd? Why are these beasts, these animals with great power and great might, submissive to this human being? They explained to me that it is due to the rope of Allah. That Allah's rope is keeping everything in control and in a certain cycle. If not, it takes one blow of the elephant's leg to crush the ringmaster. And it takes one bite of the camel to decapitate the shepherd. But it doesn't do that. And it won't do that so long Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's divine system is in order. In a similar fashion, the entire cycle of global justice and peace, love and harmony, prevailed over tyranny and injustice due to the same Allah and that same rope holding down that same system. When Allah pulled that rope back, everything began to fall, and it continues to fall before your eyes and my eyes. Now I can stand here today and blame the Kashmir crisis on certain people, on a certain government, on a certain nation, founded on a certain religion, and call for them to be held to account, or by imploring certain powerful politicians in my country or other countries to pursue them or to hold them to justice. Or I can stand here today and blame myself, hold myself accountable, and then witness Allah take care of business as He always did it best. For those of us who do not know, August 4th was the day that the straw broke the camel's back. Currently, the government of India has deployed tens of thousands of troops. They have imposed an indefinite curfew over the region of Kashmir. They have shut down all channels of communication. And on the following day, they stripped it from Article 370 status, taking away its semi-autonomy that was granted to the land of Kashmir. But leading up to it, we're talking about 30 years of history. It was already considered one of the world's most heavily militarized regions. According to official statistics and numbers, in the last 30 years of Indian-occupied Kashmir, the Indian Army has killed over 94,475 civilians. The amount of Kashmiris that have disappeared at the hands of the Indians is 10,125. Gang rapes, which is common, is over 10,283 incidents. 20,000 women have been widowed. 106,071 buildings have been destroyed. And over 20,000 children have become orphaned. The reason I'm telling you this, brothers and sisters, is to understand when the rope of Allah is pulled by Allah Himself, this is a glimpse of what will happen on this earth. Kashmir is just one story, but it's the current story. Yemen is also a story. Syria is also a story. Burma is also a story. Sudan is also a story. Ethiopia is also a story. The Uyghurs is also a story. And the list can go on. In the house of Allah today, I want you and I to ask a simple question. What should I do? If you ask that question outside the masjid, you will get all the routes which are aside from the path of religion. And I'm going to explain that today. Today in Allah's house, the call is being made, the same call that Allah made to humanity in the Holy Quran. And that is to resort to being true to yourself by being amidst those who fit the criterion of truth. That's it. That is today's khutbah. In today's khutbah topic that is titled, When We Lose Honesty, the Rope of Allah is Removed, the only call today is that we introspect and that we turn back to being true to ourselves and be amongst the company of those who are truthful. That is it. This, my dear brothers and sisters, is the first step. It is the first step to fixing ourselves. And by doing so, we allow Allah to fix the world. Unless, of course, we still feel we can do it. And if we feel that we can change the world and we can fix the world, then my words here today hold no relevancy or weight. Let me explain to you what it means being true to self and being amongst those who are true. When we open the Holy Quran and we research the words that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala uses, it in itself is an indication for something higher. For example, in reference to ordinances of faith, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commands practices using unique words. He doesn't say pray prayer, fast fasting, give charity, or just let go of your money and give charity, or do the Hajj. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for prayer says aqimus salah. For charity he says atuz zakah. For fasting he says kutiba alaykumus siyam. And for Hajj Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says farada fihinna al-hajj. I.e., the command isn't the action. It symbolizes that there is something higher to accomplish than the act itself. It is telling us not to get blinded by the ritual of the practice, rather aspire for greatness through it. I am not just praying, I'm establishing a connection with Allah through prayer. I am not just giving to the poor. I am purifying and protecting what I have by gifting to others what is due to them. I am not just fasting to lose weight, but I am on a prescription that all human beings from the beginning of time that were prescribed the same act, when they did so, they lived wholesome lives. And I'm not going to perform pilgrimage, I'm going to rehearse my death. So again, in reference to ordinances, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala uses very unique terminologies. But when it comes to the basic daily do and don't, do's and don'ts, Allah uses the words directly. For example, eat, Allah says kulu. When it comes to drinking, Allah says washrabu. When it comes to things you're not supposed to do, like wasting, la tusrifu, don't waste. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in daily affairs, He commands the act using the word itself. When it comes to qualities, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also states those qualities clearly. For example, have patience, isbiru. Encourage each other to have patience, sabiru. Stay together as one people, warabitu. Allah uses straightforward words, which is different than how He described the ordinances and commands which have been prescribed to us. All the qualities, all the do's and don'ts have been described straightforward, except for one. Except for one. And that is in Surah Tawbah, verse number 119. In reference to truthfulness. In reference to truthfulness. Allah did not use the word of sidq and commanded a person to speak truth in the Quran. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala here stated, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu attaqullaha wa kunu ma'as sadiqeen. O you who believe, be careful of your duty to Allah and be with those who are truthful. It's a very unique way Allah is saying this. He did not say speak the truth. He said be with those who are truthful. The term which is sidq, which is used for truthfulness, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did not use it directly as He used kulu for eating, washrabu for drinking, la tusrifu for not wasting. Allah did not use the term sidq in that manner. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did in Surah Ahzab say, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu taqullaha wa qulu qawlan sadida. He says to revere Allah and to be honest and upright in our words. I.e., a believer is someone who speaks honest, straight, doesn't beat around the bush. But here Allah did not use the word sidq. He said qawlan sadida, which means honest and upright. In the entire Quran, aside from how Allah commanded truthfulness, He praised those who are true to the cause of the truth. In chapter 5, verse number 70, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says about Isa ibn Maryam, مَا الْمَسِيحُ ابْنُ مَرْيَمَ إِلَّا رَسُولٌ قَدْ خَلَتْ مِنْ قَبْلِهِ الرُّسُلُ وَأُمُّهُ صِدِّيقَةٌ. Jesus, peace be upon him, is only a messenger. Many messengers passed before him. His mother was Siddiqa. She was truthful. كَانَا يَأْكُلَانِ الطَّعَامِ. They used to sit down and eat together. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala exemplified those who have the quality of truthfulness in them in many places throughout the Quran. For example, in chapter 3, verse 15 to 17, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala describes any sincere believer being one who embeds within them the quality of truthfulness. We all know that our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was known in Arabia before he gained the prophethood with two cardinal qualities. One of them was Sadiq, and the second was Amin. The first one was Sadiq, which means the truthful. He was humble, he was kind, he was generous, he was compassionate, but he was known first by his truthfulness. Even the enemies of Islam, such as Abu Sufyan, who at that time was not a Muslim, he was asked by Hercules what Muhammad teaches, and Abu Sufyan answered with the following words: he teaches us to worship God, to pray, to be truthful, and to be chaste, and to be kind to our relatives. In the ahadith we find, in the prophetic traditions we find the importance of the practice of speaking the truth. For example, in the hadith recorded in the Sahihain, Ibn Masud radiallahu anhu said that the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, I enjoin you to be truthful, for truthfulness leads to righteousness, and righteousness leads to paradise. A man may continue to tell the truth and endeavor to be truthful until he is recorded with Allah as a speaker of the truth. And beware of lying, for lying leads to wickedness, and wickedness leads to hell. And a man continues to lie and endeavors to tell lies, حَتَّى يُكْتَبَ عِنْدَ اللَّهِ كَذَّابًا, until he is written in the book of Allah as a liar. The hadith tells us about the act. The Quran, however, doesn't. The Quran tells us to be with those who are truthful. I.e., brothers and sisters, the crowd that you select, the crowd that you form, how true is that crowd to Allah? We all have our circles. We all have our cliques. We all have the people that we love hanging out with and sitting with and discussing and talking and gossiping with. The question is, Allah is saying, وَكُونُوا مَعَ الصَّادِقِينَ, be with those who are truthful. How true are we to Allah? He here in the Quran isn't talking about the Speaking of truth, he's telling us here, being true to Him. When you are with the right people, or you form a circle of the right people, number one, what benefit will it do? It will allow you to realize the truth through your actions, not just through your words. What is that truth? What is that truth? As I said in the beginning of the khutbah, you all reflect inwards. You blame yourself. You resort to Allah. You turn to Him and you pray to Him. Yeah, but that's considered backwards in our day and age, right? It's considered like you're a big mutawwa, as they say in Saudi. You're kind of being a super religious fanatic. I'm always going to pray to Allah. Go tell the politicians. Go knock their doors. Go do what you're supposed to do. I'm not downplaying that. But how many of us have turned to Allah first and then did that? Is our circles, our sittings, our gatherings, our events reminding us, encouraging us, inspiring us to see Allah, to realize who Allah is, or have we forgotten Allah? For Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in Surah number 3, verse number 191, الَّذِينَ يَذْكُرُونَ اللَّهِ. Who are these believers? The ones who remember Allah. قِيَامًا وَقُعُودًا. Standing and sitting. وَعَلَى جُنُوبِهِمْ. And lying down. وَيَتَفَكَّرُونَ فِي خَلْقِ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ. And they reflect continuously on the creation of the heavens and the earth. رَبَّنَا مَا خَلَقْتَ هَذَا بَاطِلًا. They come to a conclusion, a unified conclusion, that all that Allah has created has a purpose. In a similar way, all that's happening on this earth has a purpose. He's the one controlling it. We are not controlling it. We know what is wrong and we know what is right. If we want to fix the wrong and restore what is right, we need to fix ourselves first. That is the path of faith. The path outside of the faith is tell everyone, point out to them, prove to them that they're wrong. They need to fix themselves. Well, we'll sit back on the sofa and relax and say, look, we told him. We showed it to him. Number 2, beyond the verbalizing of the truth, your actions will then be words of truth. You'll resort to Allah. You will turn to Him always, everywhere, and anywhere. It will become the highest form of dhikr. We talk about dhikr being the beads or the numbers. What is the true dhikr? When your actions exemplify Allah's remembrance. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, if the wind changed course in Medina, he would run to the masjid. This was called dhikr in action. Remembrance of Allah in action. Embedded in his core, believing that the controller of affairs is who I need to turn to first. Not to the Weather Channel app. Now if we stay with the right circle, these two will keep the world running straight. But if we become part of the wrong crowd, or we form the wrong crowd, we will get caught up, number 1, in reasons and people, blames and finger pointing, all things that take us away from Allah. You know what that will do to a person? It will blind the person from being the solution today. Allah didn't give us Islam so we could fill up mosques and pray 5 times. Allah gave us Islam because He made you the solution for the predicaments of this earth. There is nothing else. Allah made you the solution. Allah didn't make your Imam the solution, or your grandfather the solution, or the Hafiz in your house the solution. Allah made you the solution. But when you're in the wrong circle, when you're not with kunu ma'as sadiqeen, what happens is that wrong circle will blind you from seeing that you were the solution. And you know what? What blinds us today will blind us tomorrow. In the Holy Quran, Allah says, "Man kana fi hadhihi a'ma fahuwa fil akhirati a'ma wa adallu sabila." If you are blind from seeing what your role was on this earth today, you'll be blind from seeing Allah's blessings and rewards tomorrow. And it's the opposite of dhikr. Dhikr is remembering Allah. The wrong crowd that makes you forget Him is the greatest distancing yourself from Allah. وَمَنْ أَعْرَضَ عَنْ ذِكْرِي. And when you are far from Allah, today I am far from Allah. That is why my world is suffering. وَمَنْ أَعْرَضَ عَنْ ذِكْرِي. Whoever turns away deliberately from Allah's remembrance, فَإِنَّ لَهُ مَعِيشَةً ضَنْكَ. Their life will be restricted. Their life will be full of problems. Your life will suffocate you. وَنَحْشُرُهُ يَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ أَعْمَى. On the day of judgment they will be blind. In verse number 125 and 126, Allah expands this discussion. قَالَ رَبِّ لِمَ حَشَرْتَنِي أَعْمَى. The person will say to Allah on the day of judgment, "Oh Allah, why am I blind today? It was the day where every part of our body was restored. How come my eyes weren't restored?" Allah will say, قال كذلك أتتك آياتنا فنسيتها وكذلك اليوم تنسى. I showed you my sign. I showed the earth shaking in Kashmir, but you didn't remember me. I showed the starvation in Yemen. You didn't remember me. I showed the trauma being inflicted in Syria. You didn't remember me. I saw and I showed you the cries of the people of Palestine, and all you did was everything else but remember me. If your circle cannot resort to Allah even now after all these signs, my question to you and I is a simple one. When will we turn to Allah? You're only as true to Allah as the people that you are a part of and the people that you are with. And that includes yourself. Either we need to change our ways or we need to change our circles. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to guide us, to forgive us, to change us, and allow us to change ourselves. Ameen ya Rabbil Alameen. الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا من يهدي الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله ونشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. Brothers and sisters in Islam, everything that had to be said today has been said. But sadly, many of us will still resort to the track which is at the mercy of the creation and not the mercy of the Creator. I want us to challenge our faith today. I call on you to challenge your faith today. And to use this week, because weeks have significance. The Prophet ﷺ was giving khutbah, and a man came in during the khutbah and said, "Make dua to Allah, there is no rain." And he made dua, and for 1 week it rained. And then the following week, during the khutbah, the man ran in and said, "Make dua, the rain stops, everything is flooded." Rasulullah made dua and it stopped. So the week, I want us to challenge our faith this week. That we will rectify our circles, that we will rectify our thought process, and that we will turn solely to Allah this week. Pray Quran for the people of the world and Kashmir. Only do that and nothing else. Your money can't make any difference right now. Pray to Allah extra rak'at for Him. Fast this upcoming week. Just fast for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And see if Allah makes a difference. If we become true as Allah said, وَكُونُوا مَعَ الصَّادِقِينَ. If you become in a circle of truth, Allah will be true. That rope will come back and order will be restored on this earth. If not, give me every cycle that has worked from the beginning of time. The Quran is full of cycles that failed, and the cycle of Allah is the only cycle that remained. It is not about how true I am to myself, but how true we are to each other for Allah. We send salutations and blessings upon Muhammad Mustafa sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who guided us, who mentored us, who showed us where the truth lies. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Holy Quran, Inna Allah wa malaikatahu yusalluna ala al-nabi, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, sallu alayhi wa sallimu taslima, Allahumma salli wa sallim wa barik ala Sayyidina Muhammad, abdika wa rasulika al-nabi al-ummi, wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa barak wa sallama tasliman kathiran kathira. اللهم اقسم لنا من خشيتك ما تحول به بيننا وبين معصيتك، ومن طاعتك ما تبلغنا به جنتك، ومن اليقين ما تهون به علينا مصائب الدنيا، ومتعنا اللهم بأسماعنا وأبصارنا وقواتنا أبدا ما أبقيتنا، واجعله الوارث منا، واجعل ثأرنا على من ظلمنا، وانصرنا على من عادانا، وانصرنا على من عادانا، ولا تجعل مصيبتنا في ديننا، ولا تجعل الدنيا أكبر همنا ولا مبلغ علمنا ولا إلى النار مصيرنا، ولا تسلط علينا بذنوبنا من لا يخافك فينا ولا يرحمنا، ولا تؤاخذنا بما فعل السفهاء منا، ولا تصلب نعمتك عنا، وكن معنا حيث كنا. آمين يا رب العالمين، آمين يا رب العالمين، آمين يا رب العالمين. إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون. فاذكروا الله يذكركم وادعوه يستجب لكم ولذكر الله أكبر والله يعلم ما تصنعون. Please ensure that our lines are straight, stand shoulder to shoulder. The edge of our heels should be on the edge of the line.
الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول